Hello everyone, I'm Marcie. Welcome to this fall vlog. It'll mostly be me drawing, but I've also done some other fun stuff that I wanted to document. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but I'm chronically ill and fall tends to be my healthiest season. So I like to plan a lot of fun activities right around that time. Kind of unfortunately, it's also the best time of year for me to be sharing art because everyone's kind of in a spooky, Halloweeny kind of mood. So it is a little busy, but let's see if I can actually make vlogs about all of it. This first and largest piece of the set for this week is my take on American Gothic, but spooky, of course. I've always felt an affinity to that painting because I am an autistic person from a family of autistic people with an autistic husband, so people looking kind of stiff like that is what I'm used to. And that really makes me smile. My favorite part of my painting is going to be the colors. I spent a long while before starting my whole October project just mixing really warm colors, and I'm very happy with these. As you're about to see, we're going to run into the first problem of being kind of in a time crunch because I'm doing an art challenge for October. In particular, I'm doing the Inkwood challenge, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to know more about that. And I'm not able to do all the prompts, but I do spend a day or less on each one that I do. And this one I was a little late with because I had a late commission to do, and I had to do this on the day that it had to be posted, and I did not have time to record it all because my battery was empty at some point. All that to say, we're about to skip a whole bunch of my painting process and just going to jump straight to the finished piece. What do you think? Now you're looking at my first fun activity for October. We are at a fantastic pumpkin farm. I had never seen this many kinds of pumpkins. There's even purple ones and they're amazing, so I did buy more than I had planned on. And here they are. I can't wait to carve faces out of some of these, which hopefully will be in the next vlog. Time for the next piece. The prompt for this one was grave. And I had a fun time looking up lots of headstones and trying to decide what would be the best design for this. I hope you like what I came up with. Do you think it's this ghost grave or someone else's? I drew this with a sort of a self-care theme in mind, like making the best of whatever circumstances you're dealing with, you know? And putting it on Instagram, I found out that a lot of people had different ideas about what this drawing might represent, and I love that. You see this gray color? That was actually the most complicated paint mix in the bunch, because I wanted it to look a little bit purplish, but not too purple. And I got there in the end, but it took a minute. Do like how it turned out though. And here is always my favorite part, adding texture. It's so satisfying to do because it's not hard at all, and it has such a pretty effect. It just adds a lot to a piece. So I enjoy that. This is also my own favorite out of the pieces that I've made in the first week of October. Maybe just because it has a lot of my favorite things in it. I love candles and anything else that glows. Pumpkins obviously, and ghosts. And I really enjoy gravestones as well, because graves, when you think about it, are a symbol of love and also peace. Going by my Instagram, it was not everyone else's favorite. There's one piece that really skyrocketed, but I still like this one the most. You didn't get to see this part in the previous picture, but they do all have some pencil in them as well. I love having that in for texture. And here's our next fun fall activity, which is just getting pumpkin spice lattes from Dunkin. Look at how cute this cup is. I'm definitely saving that. And the coffee was very good. To drink this somewhere pretty, so we went to the nearby lake, and it was so much colder than expected, as you can see, but I still had a nice time. At this point my husband decided he would like to visit his hometown, so we did that next. This involves crossing the river for us, which for me is still a novelty thing, so I enjoyed that. And isn't it so beautiful here? Some of this is really, really old, and apparently my husband grew up playing around here, which I love. I grew up in a swamp, which it's fun in its own way, don't get me wrong. There's like toads and stuff, very cute, but wow, this is pretty. By the way, I hope you'll forgive the footage quality. I actually had to borrow my husband's phone for this because I didn't have mine on me, but we forgot to set the quality to high, so I know it is a little grainy. I still wanted to document this anyway, because the whole point for me is just to be able to remember this later. Okay, next drawing. The prompt of this one is Muffin. I decided to stick with the ghost theme, and instead of making a muffin, making a ghost making a muffin. Decorating like this is really more of a cupcake thing, but I'm okay with that. And that's my favorite part. But while we're kind of on the topic of baking, I'm actually about to make some Halloween cookies, so wish me luck with that. If they turn out, you'll see them in another vlog. Do you like the little concentrated face? I do that. So as you watch me make all of this, you should know that I spent a significant amount of time making that exact same face. add the top layers now, which is again a favorite part of mine because this is where it all of a sudden starts to get depth. And here we go again with some pencil. I'm not sure you can really tell that well in the video, surprisingly. In person it's pretty clear. And all done. Okay, so now we're in portrait mode, I know, but look. We went to the lake to feed the birds. This is the same place that we had the coffee before. We come here a lot. There were so many birds this time and it was so cool. For those of you who don't know, these are baby swans up front. And here's the final drawing portion of the video. It is a cute little mushroom. And you YouTube viewers are actually the first to see this because I forgot to post it. Lucky for me, there is a prompt coming up called Stars, so I think I'll just share it for that instead. But I think it's silly that I kind of hurried to get everything done in time and then completely forgot to share it because I got busy drawing. I drew this from an older sketch that I had inspired by a game called Ooblets, which is a game where you collect all kinds of little creatures and some of them are mushrooms. So I once spent an afternoon in my sketchbook trying to decide what I would make something like that look like, and this one's my favorite from those. I love the face on this one. This mushroom cap was the hardest thing I've painted all week because you have to keep all the parts of the paint wet if you want to make a gradient, which I am doing. It's ultimately going to need 2 layers, but it does end up looking quite pretty. This is the same custom violet color that I always like to mix, which is a very, very granulating mix. And that's what watercolor is all about for me. Here's something else special that I really wanted to document. I have a friend called Lorian. Hi Lorian if you're watching. And Lorian, until very recently, had an art framing business. And she offered to frame a bunch of my pieces, which is absolutely incredible. If you're new here, this also serves to show you a little bit more of what I do. We've got a lot of my own favorite pieces here because obviously when Lorian offered, I decided to bring her all my best ones. In my opinion anyway. This Light Up Your Life one is my own very favorite piece and also the favorite sticker I've ever had produced. This little vampire is my best-selling piece and I think this is the best frame of all of them. It looks so good. Here's another look at everything. Don't you think she did an amazing job? I love these frames. And I can't decide yet if I'm going to sell the framed pieces or keep them, just because they're so nice. They'd definitely be hard to let go. This also brings us to the end of what I hope is just the first of 4 vlogs for October, because I really want to document what is usually my favorite month. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it, and thank you for being here.